Hello Scorpio, this is your January 2021 Oracle and Tarot reading. My name is TESA and this is TESA's Tarot. Before I get started, I just want to let you guys know that this reading is going to be for the Ascendant Scorpio, okay? The Ascendant Scorpio. It could still resonate with you, okay? It could still resonate, the actual Tarot and Oracle reading, but I am going to be reading the transits, the current planetary transits that are in effect in our solar system currently. I'm going to be reading those transits based on Scorpio ascendant. So if I name a particular house and I say that it's transiting this particular house, so if you are a Scorpio sun but you have a different ascendant, you might be like, that's not the sign I have in that house. So that's why, okay? So this is why I'm doing ascendant signs for this particular reading. Because I am going to be incorporating astrology into the reading just to get a little bit more of a framed overview of what the energies, like what energies are taking place in your life, and the different parts of your life in the month of January 2021. The Oracle and the Tarot reading is just going to bring out some more of those subconscious and unconscious energies up into the light of the particular areas that those energies are wanting to make themselves known in, okay? So I hope that makes sense, okay? So the other way to explain it is some of the bigger energies that are going on right now is going to be the Capricorn and the Aquarius energy. So we're currently in Capricorn season, okay? And this is transiting your third house of communication, short distance travel, close friendships and siblings, okay? And then there's a lot going on with Capricorn season, and then Saturn and Jupiter are conjunct in Aquarius, and that is transiting the fourth house for Scorpio rising, okay, which is home, family, and roots. So there could be some kind of like sudden changes and kind of things kind of coming to the light in that area as well. So those are the bigger energies that are going on. So I am going to give you a list of the different transits that are in effect for January 2021. We're not focusing on any major aspects, just transits, okay? So when I do the Oracle and Tarot reading, that is going to highlight more of the specific area that wants to be highlighted, okay? And that's why we're merging the two together. We're merging astrology and tarot and oracle reading together, okay? Because it definitely provides more insight, it fills in the blanks, and it brings into conscious awareness things that we're not conscious of, things that we're not completely aware of. And we are very much aware of some of, for the most part, I would say we're aware of the bigger energies taking place, okay? So it's very well that the reading could have a lot to do with those bigger energies, so it really just depends. We're going to let the cards speak for themselves, okay? So yeah, so this is a reading for Scorpio Ascendant, Scorpio Rising, but you're welcome to stick around if that is not your sign. So yeah, with that being said, let's get started. So I'm filming this video in December at the very end. I'm in the last week of December. At the end of 2020 is like 2 days away. So if you watch this video next week, that's totally fine. In this moment, though, we have the sun in Capricorn in your third house. There's a full moon right now in Cancer, and it's in your ninth house of higher learning, long distance travel, and philosophy. So you could be, so maybe some of the feelings that are coming up for you right now, if it is in regards to maybe some childhood memories or some things related to your mother or your parents. Maybe there could be some nostalgia there. There could be some feelings of, maybe a trip you took when you were a kid. Mercury is currently in Capricorn in your third house. Venus is in Sagittarius in your second house of possessions, values, and finances. So just kind of finding the joys of your possessions. Mars is in Aries in your sixth house of everyday routines. And then Jupiter and Saturn are conjunct in your fourth house. Uranus is retrograde in Taurus in your 7th house of relationships, partnerships, and balance within social dynamics, like how you harmonize with social settings. And then, so it's interesting because Uranus retrograde actually offers a little bit of a calmer energy and a smoother energy. We typically think of retrograde as like things getting thrown into chaos, but because Uranus in its natural state is a little chaotic, is changeable, is revolutionary, is unpredictable. When it's retrograde, it kind of smooths things out a little bit. So I find that kind of interesting. And then Uranus is going direct in January. So then we have Neptune, which is in its home sign of Pisces, in your 5th house of creativity, children, and romance. So there could be a kind of dreamy element in this area of your life. Pluto, the planet of transformation, is in Capricorn in your 3rd house. Okay, so that is currently where we're at. Now, moving into January, on January 6th, Mars is going to enter Taurus in your 7th house of relationships, partnerships, and balance in social situations. January 8th, Mercury is going to enter Aquarius in your 4th house. Venus is also going to enter Capricorn in your 3rd house. On January 13th, there's going to be a new moon in Capricorn in your 3rd house. So there could be some interesting intention setting around this time, okay? If you want to maybe start working on a project with your friends, something related to your close friendships or your siblings, this could be a really, really good time to get started on a project. January 14th is when Uranus is going to go direct in Taurus. And then on January 19th, Sun is going to enter Aquarius in your 4th house. And things are really going to become illuminated. Especially, like you could, okay, with this being in your 4th house of home, roots, family, things like that, you might start to rethink maybe how you were raised. You might start to have some big, you might, either you're going to be inspired by your roots, you're going to start to see how you can use your childhood experiences like to your advantage, okay? And kind of maybe like use it to put yourself more in line with your purpose, to kind of use your experiences and use your, whether bad or good, it doesn't matter, but to use those experiences in a positive way, okay, in the current situation of things, because that's going to become very relevant as the years go on. January 28th, January 28th, end of the month, we have a full moon in Leo in your 10th house of work, career, social status, authority. So there could definitely be some creative, insightful, just bright light kind of shining moments towards the end of the month, some ideas coming to the forefront, a very creative energy taking place in regards to work or career. January 30th, Mercury is going retrograde in Aquarius. There could be some challenges there around communication, okay, especially when it comes to family members. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into the reading, Scorpio, and see what we have going on. Okay, so I'm using the Enchanted Map Oracle Modern Spellcaster's Tarot. Okay, so I'm going to pull 3 Oracle cards and we're going to see. I got this card 3 times already. I mean, I promise you, I shuffle these decks between each zodiac sign that I do, and I shuffle them very, very well. But Leo and Libra also got this card. So I don't know. I mean, and both of those had some similar energies going on, kind of like a community, maybe like a roommate situation, living with a lot of people. But the spirit of place, I'm really kind of picking up as either there's a move taking place, either you're moving from one location to another and you need to use your intuition, you need to kind of tap in to the energy of your new situation. It could be there are some changes taking place, especially if you have Aquarius in your 4th house of like home and family. There could be some changes kind of taking place. The energy is starting to shift a little bit. Maybe you're a little bit more sensitive to the different energies that are going on around you, and you're really kind of tuning in and picking up on like this Aquarius energy, this, or a very creative kind of energy that's starting to become more in your face, and you're becoming inspired by it. But it's also kind of about contributing to the atmosphere in your own creative way as well. Okay, so just kind of like tapping into the energy. I really see this as tapping into the energy that's going on around you. No matter what your situation is, your home, your work, the space that you occupy the most, and whatever people dwell in that space, the people that dwell in that space. So it's really going to be about tuning in and tapping in, because this Aquarius energy is going to make things a little bit more creative, a little more mental, a little more intellectual, and being more in rhythm with the universe, being more in tune and in rhythm with your surroundings. Okay, and then we have mountain. Okay, so this is definitely some kind of obstacle that comes in your path, something that you have to overcome. Okay, something that you have to overcome. And then we have making a choice. Okay, so you might get presented with a big obstacle and you need to make a choice. Okay, you might become presented with something that leaves you like, oh my God, what do I do? How do I deal with this? How do I overcome this hurdle? There could be some news, some information, okay, with the moon over here. The full moon in Cancer is in your 9th house. Maybe there is some information. You could be having some downloads. This could be a very spiritual kind of mountain. Okay, you might be receiving some downloads. Okay, this Aquarius energy, it's just like, are you there? Like it's wanting to get in. Maybe things, okay, and it's wanting you to choose a path. It's wanting you to choose a path. Okay, let's start pulling tarot cards because I'm very curious about this. Justice, Libra energy. Okay, so Libra is in your 12th house of spirituality, isolation, God. Okay, so, and this making a choice is very much a Libra energy kind of card. I kind of see this as like the 2 of Swords. And this is like really heavy, making a choice. So this, something that you're realizing, maybe you need to make a decision about if you're going to, it could be in reference to whether or not you want to like fight for a certain cause. I feel like the universe is really pushing you in a very specific direction. And there's a little bit of resistance there. I feel like the universe is pushing you in a very specific direction and you're still not sure how to navigate it. You're not really sure how to navigate this energy. You kind of have like your scales up as almost like, you know, because this is taking place in your spiritual house, okay, in your 12th house. It's like, wait a minute, let me dive a little bit deeper here, or let me take a look at this a little bit better. I kind of see this as you like using this justice, these balancing scales, as like your defense. Like, don't come after me, okay? There could actually be a physical obstacle. Like, okay, let me keep pulling cards because I'm a little, there's a little bit of blockages. There's also this feeling of like not wanting to know something. 10 of Wands is Saturn in Sagittarius. Burden, overload, burden. There's some blockages going on here. There's some secret information. There's something that you're contemplating. There's something going on that you don't want people to know about. There's something going on inside you that you don't want people to know about. There's something that you're contemplating and you don't want people to know. You're like putting up psychic, like you don't want, you don't want people to tap into your energy. You don't want people to, that's a very Scorpio attribute. I mean, it's not like abnormal or anything like that. But I do kind of feel like there is something that is on your mind that's deep inside of you, something maybe that you're thinking about, but it's a secret. You're keeping it to yourself. You don't want to tell anybody. It has to do with making a certain decision, but it's becoming a burden. It's becoming a lot to handle, okay? But you don't want, it's like you don't want people to know, you don't want to share it, you don't want to talk about it, because you feel like it's going to not happen or something. You know, it could be something kind of superstitious like that, like it's not going to happen, but it's kind of like burdening you, it's weighing you down a little bit because you can't figure out what you want to do. Okay, so Sagittarius is in your second house of possessions, values, and finances. I don't know, it could have something to do with money. It could be needing to get rid of things. It could be like a certain situation that you're in and you don't want people to know the extent of that situation. Maybe you're in a bad situation. Maybe you are wanting to get rid of things. Maybe you're wanting to change course in your life. Four of Cups. This is Moon in Cancer. This is your 9th house. Okay. Needing to pull back, needing to be alone, needing to meditate, needing to clear your head, to think about your next move. What is going to be your next move? What's your next move? Let me see. 9. Maybe you want to go somewhere. You want to go somewhere else. You want to leave. You want to leave the situation. You want to leave something behind. The Emperor, Aries energy, 6th house of daily routines. Okay, so you might be living with someone, or you might be in a very controlling relationship. You could be living with somebody who is very dominating, who wants things their way. They're very controlling, very dominating. They just take up all the energy that's around you, and this has become a big obstacle for you. You're kind of just like, I don't This is not something I want anymore. It's becoming too much of a burden. It's becoming too much of a burden. Okay, this is your mountain. Okay, and you're, maybe you're trying to figure out how to leave. Okay. All right, for some of you, you're trying to figure out how to get out of a situation. For others of you, like, you just have a lot going on. For others of you, your daily life just seems to be piling up and you're just trying to master it. But the fact that the Emperor comes out, it's like you're just trying to overcome some of these daily routines and daily habits. This is a little scattered. This is a little all over the place. I kind of feel this more as like you pretending like you have it all together. I'm not really buying this. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. This Emperor energy over here for your 6th house of your daily routines and activities, like, I think you want to project and you want to show the energy that you have your shit together and you have everything together, but you don't. Okay? Because this is very scattered energy. This is kind of like projecting things that aren't actually there. Okay, and then we have the Fool. You see how scattered this is? This is all over the place. Like, you don't know what the heck you're doing. Okay. And if you are in a situation, if this is somebody that you're living with, if this is somebody that you want to get away from, maybe they're a little bit too controlling. Maybe you want to like free yourself. You want to go off on a new adventure. You want to go do something. You want to travel. Because this Fool card is very much about like new beginnings, traveling, just taking a leap of faith, going in a new direction, doing something new, you know, and just kind of being like a free spirit, but also kind of all over the place. All right, Scorpio. All right. And the Fool card is represented by Uranus. It's represented by Uranus. So, and that's in your 7th house of relationships. So there could just be some big changes going on in your home life. Okay. Maybe you're like fighting a little bit with your significant other. There could be a lot of changes, especially because you have Uranus in Taurus in your 7th house. Uranus creates unpredictability. That makes sense. That makes sense because Uranus creates unpredictability. Okay, and with Uranus going direct in January, things might start to feel a little chaotic in your relationship, and in your environment, especially around finances, possessions. There's a feeling of wanting to start something new, go a new path, kind of break free a little bit, maybe not wanting to be home all the time. Maybe wanting to travel, especially with that Cancer showing up, that moon in Cancer in your 9th house of travel and higher learning. That could be like the obstacle. Maybe you are fighting with a significant other about wanting to travel somewhere or go somewhere or do something. A very emotional, kind of erratic energy. Okay, defending yourself, working really hard, and then taking time to meditate. This energy is a little all over the place. I'm not going to lie. It's very erratic. It could be because of that Uranus energy that's happening in your 7th house. And if you are in a relationship, it could be affecting your relationship in regards to finances. Maybe you guys are fighting about money. And then we have the World card as the final card. The World card, this is Saturn energy. Saturn is in Aquarius. This is your 4th house of home, family, and roots. Coming back down to earth, coming back down to your roots. There is a need to ground yourself. There's a strong need for you to ground yourself and come back full circle, come back to yourself, so things are not all over the place, so you can understand what is going on here, so you can have a higher learning, okay? The 9th house, the moon that's currently happening in Cancer is transiting your 9th house of higher learning, philosophy, and long distance travel. So I feel like this is really significant, especially with this mountain card over here. You know, it's like you're, in order to achieve big dreams and big goals, you still have to come back down to yourself. You know, you have to get back down to the base. You know, part of inner wisdom is being in control. Saturn is an energy that requires you to be in control of what it is you want to manifest. You can't just like do things erratically. You need to be like in control of what you want to manifest. That is what Saturn requires. If there's a certain goal that you are trying to go towards, if there's something that you're trying to do, some big picture idea, maybe, or to travel, Saturn is restricted. There's a sense of restriction so you can understand what is happening within yourself, so you can make a wise, more educated judgment call. Okay. Whew. Oh my goodness, Scorpio. These energies were just like coming out like, oh my God, like I didn't even know what was going on. Like, you know, if it helps to call a family member, or, you know, kind of go to that place inside yourself that brings you back down to earth. This Cancer moon is a really, really good time to be in your feels, to just let yourself feel what you're feeling without, you know, to kind of go back to the memories and the nostalgic aspects of your childhood that bring you happiness, that inspires you, not I mean, the bad stuff is very, you know, whether it's good or bad, it can be inspiring either way, because it makes you whole. It makes you a whole person. You know, being able to integrate the different stories that you've been given, being able to integrate your good and your bad, and just kind of like, and understand that it is part of who you are without it controlling you. Like, understand that it's part of your story, it's part of your journey, but that those emotions don't need to control you anymore. And like the erraticness maybe of you know, it seems maybe like maybe you get triggered very easily. Okay. It's just coming back to yourself. It's just about coming back to yourself. Yeah, I feel like you want to go somewhere. Okay. So, you know, a summary of what we just experienced here. I feel like there's somewhere you want to go, somewhere you want to travel, but there's this huge obstacle. It's probably your partner that you have to overcome, or financial matters. You need to make a decision. There could be some a little bit of back and forth energy here. You know, someone maybe is saying no. And you're like, I'm gonna work really hard, and then you know, there needs to be some calm time. You know, this person is trying to show himself as like the man of the house, or like the superior, and you're like, okay, sure, whatever, I'm just gonna do what I want to do. All right, Scorpio, this is your reading for January 2021. Yeah. Happy end of 2020. It's a new year in 3 days. Stay tuned for mid-January 2021. And I also posted I'm doing a new series. I have one video so far, but I'm doing a new series called Get to Know Me Through Astrology. So if you want to hear some of my personal stories and how I read, dive into my own natal chart, I'll put the link in the description box below. Until next time, bye.